Hello friends, welcome to Insights ICANN Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about following 5 topics. These topics are, first one is methane alert and response system, second one is regarding the climate club, third one is the National Crime Record Bureau NCRB, they given the data and the data is showing highest number of FIRs in Delhi. We will discuss about further information regarding that one. Fourth one is regarding the UN Commission for Social Development and its report. Finally, Global Drought Snapshot report, what it is indicating and which conditions are accentuating the drought, we will discuss. So, out of these 5, first let us start with the first one. The first one is related to General Studies paper 3 environment, methane alert and response system. Actually, this is a satellite based information, and second one, in across the globe, major source of the methane release are volcanic eruptions, fumes, you can call it as. In this photo you can see this volcanic fumes. So now this particular satellite system will give warning where the methane is releasing at high quantity and what kind of action should be taken to reduce that methane. You know that methane is also one of the gas which causes the global warming, that you have to understand. So now let's see the news. Recently the methane alert response system, they notified governments regarding the methane emissions from plumes across the 4 continents, and this methane alert and response system, it is an action plan which has initiative to give open and reliable and actionable data regarding the reduction of the methane emissions. This particular initiative was announced at COP27 in 2022. You know that now recently COP28 held in 2023. Tell me students, where does COP26 was held? Where does COP26 was held? Okay. Initially, this was launched as a platform, a pilot basis in 2023. Now let's see UNEP's International Methane Emissions Observatory. Actually, this one, it will use the data provided by this particular methane alert and response system, and it will engage various countries, companies and NGOs in an effort towards reducing the methane emissions. It uses the satellite data provided by this system, and leveling these levels of methane, if we reduce, then we can easily achieve our Paris Agreement as well as the global methane pledge. This initiative works mainly in collaboration with Climate and Clean Air Coalition and the International Energy Agency. These are the supplementary agencies works along with this particular initiative. Now let's see International Methane Emission Observatory. This observatory, it was presented in G20 Leaders Summit in 2021, and it focused mainly on the methane emissions. And this particular observatory, the second edition of this one launched as a part of UNEP's flagship program, okay, which includes the companies to improve the accuracy and transparency of methane emissions from the oil and gas sectors through a committed framework. So once you know the accurate levels of how much methane is releasing, so that you can plan an action plan to reduce that methane emissions. Okay, that is about the first one. Second one, climate club. What is this climate club and what are the countries initiated this climate club? We will discuss. First, you have to understand, recently climate club, it was formally launched at COP28 at the UNFCCC. Initially, it was led by Germany and Chile. Actually, these countries, they rotate the chairmanship of this climate club for every 2 years, that we have to understand. This club was garnered support around 36 members countries including Kenya, European Union, Switzerland and other countries. Tell me students, whether India is present in this club or not. Put your answer in the comment section. The main aim of this club is to decarbonize of industries. How can you decarbonize industries? By ensuring application of latest technology, so the carbon emissions coming out of that industry, that will be reduced and the waste will be retreated, so that carbon emissions can be reduced, and arranging financing for the developed economy, developing economy from developed economies to reduce the pollution level. These 2 countries which acts as co-chaired, for every 2 years the membership will rotate. At the moment, this organization don't have any permanent secretariat. That is the reason OECD as well as International Energy Agency, they are providing a joint secretariat for these two organizations. This is the second one. And the third one is NCRB. NCRB is an authenticated source related to data regarding the accidents, crimes, murders and various other types of crimes. Now what NCRB is saying and when the NCRB was established and how the NCRB tapping in technology, we will discuss. Okay. Now let's see. Delhi logged the highest rate of FIRs linked to crimes against women in the country 2022. Actually it doesn't mean that Delhi is having highest number of crimes. It means Delhi is recording highest number of FIRs. It may be due to the awareness among the women regarding like filing FIR. But erstwhile in other states there may be more domestic violence against women, but the cases are not being registered. That you have to understand. Okay. The NCRB was started in 1986 to act as a nodal agency to maintain the information related to crimes and criminals. It works under the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. Now let's see. It's set up based on the recommendations of Tandon Committee as well as National Police Commission and the Task Force of the Home Ministry. These are the organizations behind the establishment of the NCRB. Now NCRB became a very prominent organization in giving this kind of information. It is responsible for not only collecting the data, it will even analyze the crime data as well, so that it gives insights to the governments so that they can try to reduce the crimes. Headquarters present in New Delhi. 2009. Now let's see some of the initiative taken by NCRB. In 2009, they implemented the Crime and Criminal Tracking Network and System. Okay, it is nothing but CCTNS. It will connect around 15,000 police stations and 6,000 high offices across the country, and they exchange criminal information so that multiple offenders can be caught easily with their data. Next, in 2017, they came up with one more initiative, National Digital Police Portal, which allows police officers to look into the CCTNS and they can effectively use the CCTNS. Then National Database of Sexual Offenders. This maintains the database of repetitive sexual offenders and share the data across the states so that sexual violence on young children can be reduced a lot. Then NCRB also launched online cybercrime reporting portal. In this, video evidences of crime can be uploaded so that complaint can be registered easily. And one more initiative of NCRB was CyTrain. It is an online portal which gives training of different stakeholders in cybercrime investigation and prosecution. It provides cybercrime training so that people can be vigilant. The Central Fingerprint Bureau under the NCRB, it acts as a national repository of fingerprints across the country. You know that the importance of fingerprints. You might have watched that movie Khaki, how the fingerprints helps in catching the criminals. NCRB also compiles various types of data and regularly they publish following reports such as crime in India, accidental deaths and suicides, prison statistics. And NCRB also assists various states in capacity building in the areas of IT, CCTNS, fingerprints, network security and digital forensic. In these areas, NCRB helps. Now let's see, Commission for Social Development. Commission for Social Development, it is related to UNO. In UNO, it is related to Department of Economic and Social Affairs. This Commission for Social and Development. Let's see, India's permanent representative to the UN. By the way, tell me students, who is the India's permanent representative to UNO? Put your answer in the comment section. Recently, they act as the chairman for the meeting related to the 62nd UN Commission for Social Development. So what is this UN Commission for Social Development is talking about? It is act as a one of the principal organ of Economic and Social Council of UNO. It was established in 1945. Which one? This UN Commission for Social Development. What is the purpose? The purpose of this organization is development of like social indicators. It may be the health, it may be the education, nutrition, poverty alleviation, social inclusion, promotion of sustainable developments. These are the areas are going to be focused. In 1995 World Summit for Social Development in Corporation, it has been recognized as the key UN body to follow up and implement the Copenhagen Declaration and Program of Action. So, this organization is a nodal organization which is going to implement the Copenhagen Declaration. Membership. Originally it started with 18 and now it stands at 46. And we all know about information regarding the UN ECOSOC. It is one of the 6 principal organs, and now around 5 principal organs are actively working. The Trusteeship Council is not working now, you know that. It is responsible for giving directions and coordination regarding the economic, social, humanitarian and cultural activities under UNO. So, that is about UN ECOSOC. All the decisions under UN ECOSOC will be taken through simple majority. Now, the UN ECOSOC active membership is 54 countries and they elected for every 3 years through the UN General Assembly. Now, the final one is regarding the Global Drought Snapshot report. Now, let us see what this report is talking about. According to this report, Global Drought Snapshot, it was launched by the UN Convention to Combat Desertification. You know, students, there are 3 important conventions of UNO, okay, environment conventions. One is the UNCCD. What are the 2 other important conventions? Put your answer in the comment section. This was launched at the, this report was launched at the COP28 climate talks, and this report is saying that drought is causing severe economic crisis. Highlights of the report. The report is saying that regarding the agriculture and forestry, around 70% of cereal crops, they were damaged by drought in the Mediterranean between 2016 to 2018. You know that, students, if you remember, even in the last year as well, Europe under the grip of severe heat wave. Did you remember that? Europe, especially UK, it was under the grip of the heat wave. And due to this climate changes only, even this locust attack was seen couple of years back in Pakistan and certain parts of India as well. Around because of this, according to this drought reports, 33% loss of the grazing land in South Africa due to this drought. 5 consecutive rainfall season failures in Horn of Africa, which is causing around worst drought in the 40 years. Africa's drought related economic losses in the past 50 years around $70 billion. So, you can understand the economic repercussions of drought. Water conditions, around 75% reduction in the cargo capacity of some vessels in the Rhine river due to the low river levels in 2022. Obviously, when the river water level is very low, transportation cannot be possible. You know that river Rhine is one of the international river which helps in the international transportation. Around 5 million people in southern China, they affected the record low water levels. So, how drought will affect society? Let us see. 85% of the people, they were affected by drought, they are living in middle or middle income countries. You know that, students, especially poor countries are more vulnerable to drought as well as the natural disasters. Around 2 million people in the Central American dry corridor, okay, that means below Sahara and just above Sahara, in that area, they are needing food aid after the 5 years of drought and heat waves and less rainfall. So, these are some of the consequences regarding the drought. So, the UN Convention to Combat Desertification, it is one of the 3 UN conventions which was adopted in the 1992 Earth Summit. It is the only legally binding framework to set up and to address the desertification and the effect of drought. There are around 193 countries which in this convention, including 196 countries as well as the European Union, total 197 countries. Now, let us see yesterday's MCQ. What does the S&P 500 related to? It is related to an index of stocks of large companies. Index of stocks of large companies. Now, let us see today's question. The idea of life was first introduced by Prime Minister during when our Indian Prime Minister proposed the idea of life. You know that life is all about adapting our lifestyles in a more environment friendly manner and encourage the recyclable products rather than use and throw products. We will encourage your recyclable products in this life. Main question. Describe the major outcomes of COP26 of UNFCCC and what are the commitments made by India in this conference. This is the main question. Now, As we reach to the end of this video, let us revise quickly. In this particular video, we discussed about following 5 topics, and this is the detailed analysis of today's current issues.